how it's going to start from the branch level, the ward level, and up to the national level. And there's a firm warning there. If there's any government appointee who is seeking to run as a national officer of the NDC, you're expected to resign 6 clear months before the election of the national officers of the National Democratic Congress, the governing party in Ghana as at now. It was a live coverage from the NDC headquarters, but for now, it is time for Situation Room. And today we are discussing the New Patriotic Party. On Saturday, the party goes to the poll. We'll be back.
Watching DSTV means getting the TV you love, but staying connected means getting something extra. Stunning. Extra matches, extra dramas, the best local and the world's biggest. Extra laughter, music, movies, and extra vim.
I love it.
Just stay connected or reconnect and get upgraded to the next higher package at no extra cost. Charlie, we got you. Keep watching. Get more with DSTV.
We are gearing up for the trip of a lifetime. Heritage Caravan 2026. From 1st to 8th March 2026, 8 days, 14 regions, 1 legendary caravan. We're touring Ghana in the most spectacular way on the Heritage Caravan, exploring the beauty, history, and stories that make our nation unique. Rolling out from Greater Accra through Eastern and OT, up north to the Northern and Upper East, and all the way to the Western region, hitting iconic destinations across Ghana. The Heritage Caravan 2026 will be fun, educative, refreshing, and most of all, remarkable. Stay connected. Follow Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM across all social media platforms for updates, and join the conversation using the hashtag Heritage Caravan 2026. The Heritage Caravan 2026 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from City FM, and it's proudly sponsored by Hollard Insurance, Piva Beverages, Omni Basic Bank, Caveman Watches, Gino, and Didi Shito, and it's supported by Nanes Rice. Heritage Caravan 2026, experience Ghana like never before.
On Saturday, the much awaited, the much anticipated, and much talk about presidential primaries of the New Patriotic Party will come off. 211,000 delegates of the New Patriotic Party are expected to cast their ballot to elect who will lead the party going to the election of 2028. The party says it is prepared as far as the National Elections Committee is concerned, and everything is on set. The IGP, all the security setups say they are ready to ensure that the process is smooth. The Electoral Commission also says it's ready to ensure that the MPP primaries comes out successfully, and the candidate or the individual who will be elected will be accepted by all. The camps have also wrapped up their campaign. The Kennedy Ohene Japan campaign team, the Dr. Mamadu Bawumia campaign team, the Brian Champon, Kwamnede Japan, and Dr. Osei Duchum, they've all wrapped up their campaign, waiting for Saturday to see who will emerge victorious in the MPP's presidential primaries. This is the Situation Room, and my name is Sami Wiafe. As always, I'm here with my friend brother Fred Tete Jabano, who will today take us to the history classroom, give us a breakdown of the MPP delegate system since 1992 to the current data as we have as far as the election on Saturday is concerned. And this is the situation. Fred, how are you?
Sammy, I'm doing well.
31st, Naba.
It has come. It has come. 31st has come. 31st has come, and surprisingly, as the MPP starts the bottom-top approach on the 31st, the NDC from the 30th is starting with the top-bottom approach. Quite interesting. The two parties are all gearing up for reorganization, whether from bottom or from the top. It's all the reorganization. The NDC has indicated that from the 30th of November, of January, all registers will be sent to their branches to start now getting people to register, to get people to check their names, and that would go through the whole of January, up to February, I think in the 3rd or 4th day of February. After, they would allow for branch elections, which would start the process from the somewhere in February, in the middle of February. And from February, as the party general secretary says, the branch elections, the picking of forms for branch elections would start from the 2nd of May. So from February to somewhere April, they'll be going through the registers to ensure that people are registered properly. People who want to come and register. Then from May, they start the election of executives from the branch level. So there's a picking of forms from the 2nd, and eventually the elections in the branch level will take place from the 10th to the 30th of June. So from the 10th to the 30th of June, the NDC will elect branch executives. Then we go to constituency, which you realize that once you get to the constituency, then it's getting there. It's getting there. The constituency elections, opening of nominations, will begin from the 15th to the 17th of September. The filing of the nominations for constituency would be from the 23rd to the 24th of September. Vetting will take place, appeals will take place, then the election will be on the 24th and 25th October for constituency elections. Whilst the process is ongoing, the process for the nomination for regional also begins. So the regional would start from the nomination, picking of nomination, opening of nomination, will start from the 5th of October to the 6th of October. They also go through their filing from 14th to 16th. There's the vetting. Then they'll hold the youth and women's election. So for the NDC, they always hold the youth and women's election before any major election. So at the regional level, there'll be the youth and women election, which will be held. Then on the 14th and 15th November, they will do the regional elections. So the 16 regions will now elect executives, new executives, from the 14th, on the 14th and the 15th of November. Then we go to the national elections, the major one. That's what everybody is looking up to. The national elections, the nominations will begin from the 20th to the 21st. So you can go and pick nominations from the 20th to the 21st.
Of November?
Of October. Of October. Then on the 7th and 9th, there's the vetting. After the vetting, then you go to the appeals, which is the 15th and 16th. Then the party on the 12th of December would hold the women and youth elections, national women and youth elections. A week later, which is the 19th of December, which is a Saturday, the national elections will be held. The Congress will be held. So during the Congress, national elections will take place. So the NDC has begun reorganization from the 30th, Friday the 30th of January, all the way to the 19th of December 2026. And the party has given some guidelines, and very interesting guidelines. No appointed person or nobody holding a government appointment.
I mean a government appointee?
A government appointee. A minister, deputy minister, chief executive, DCE, you are not eligible to contest any of the elections. So if you know that you're a government appointee, you are not eligible to contest any of the elections. Going forward also, you have 6 months to resign. 6 months before the election.
If you have an intention.
If you have an intention and you are an appointee and you really want to contest, you have 6 months to contest, to resign. So for example, if you want to contest the national elections are on the 19th of December. So you have 6 months before the 19th.
You must resign around
June.
Yeah.
Around June to be able to be eligible to contest the election. So You just calculate 6 months before that particular election and you resign. Board chairmen, board members are allowed to contest.
Okay.
So if you're a board chairman or you're a member of a board who was appointed by the president, you are allowed to contest. But if you're a minister, a deputy minister, a CEO of a state organization, a DC, an MMDC, you are not allowed to contest. And the party is warning that they are not going to allow anybody to influence the album, the register for the election. The General Secretary, Fifi Kwete, made it very clear.
That has always been the problem of the two political parties.
Yes.
They ploy their plots and the machination and the mafia tactics as far as the album, because the album is the soul of the party.
Yes.
If you want to get into a national position, even from the ward or branch to the top, the problem is always with the album. If you remember, the MPP had issues with their own album.
Yes.
And I'm sure that's why the General Secretary is also guarding against this practice.
They are not going to allow anybody to influence the register in any way. So from tomorrow, which is the 30th of January, the register will be sent to the branches.
Okay.
So you go back to your branch to ensure that your name is there. You go back to your branch. If you want to be a member of the party and be eligible to partake in the elections, you go back to your branch to register. So the NDC has started the process for elections. And after this, we know what's next.
Okay.
The flag bearer, the national
party.
elections for the flag bearer of the party. But for now, they are concentrating on the internal elections, executive elections. So top, bottom, and MPP from Saturday, a day after they start the will do the bottom top approach.
You're still watching The Situation. We're coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. That's the NDC. Today our focus is on the MPP. On Saturday, the much awaited, much anticipated, and the much talked about MPP presidential primaries is on. 5 individuals gunning to lead the MPP going to the election of 2028. Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, Kwame Echampong, Kennedy Ejapon, Dr. Brian Echampong, and Dr. Yao Osei Educhim. 5 individuals say they want to lead the MPP contest the elections of 2028. We'll also speak to the National Elections Committee of the party. How prepared are they? They have some issues in respect of the TESCON album. If members of the TESCON will be allowed to vote in this election, we'll speak to the National Elections Committee as well to find out if they've addressed all the misgivings and the grievances, the various camps expressed in the lead up to this election. And also, we'll visit their camps. They are done with their campaigning. What is the expectation? What is the last minute strategy they are putting in place to ensure that their favorite candidates win on Saturday? But for now, Fred will take us to the history room. It will give us a breakdown of how the MPP delegate system has been from 1992, 96 to 2000, 2004, 2008, and the likes, and tell us how the electoral college of the party has grown, has seen expansion, and the latest numbers we are seeing on Saturday, which will be over 211,000 delegates of the MPP will be casting their ballots to elect whoever will lead them to election 2028. Fred,
Sammy,
give us a breakdown, especially what we are expecting Saturday before we go back.
Before we go to history, now let's give people an idea of which people make the delegates or the album or the voters for this election, which will take place on the 31st of January, Saturday. So we have the delegates makeup. The makeup has polling station executives. It has former executives, former MPs, and current 7 MPs. It has electoral area coordinators, constituency executives, elders, patrons, and appointees, TESCON members, executives, external branch, which they usually call the diaspora, and regional and national executives. When you take a look at this structure, you will know and be able to understand where the votes would come from. Which of these people within this structure carry the most votes? And the people within the structure, the electoral system, who carry the most votes are the polling station executives. They make about 87% of those going to partake in the election on Saturday. After the polling station executives, the next with a lot of numbers are going to be MPs and former government appointees. They make about 5.4% of the party's register. Then you look at electoral area coordinators. Electoral area coordinators will give you about 2.8% of the register. Then constituency executives, they make about 2.1%. Then the party elders, patrons also would make about 1.1%. So party elders and patrons also include some executives, some appointees who have been appointed onto the executive council. Then you have members from TESCON, you have external branch. These are the diaspora branches who also will send in delegates to vote. This time around, what the party is saying is that they are not going to allow for the voting by proxy. So if you want to partake in this particular election, you should be coming down. Latest by Saturday morning, you should be in town. So external branches, which is the diaspora, also would fall in place. Then regional and national executives. So this is how the structure looks for the Saturday elections. Now let's see the numbers. Very important. We had already spoken about who has the majority, but let's look at the numbers, the number of people who would partake in this particular election. The number of people going to partake in this particular election are about 211,849 people. 211,849 people. And this is how they shape up in the regions. The region with the highest number of delegates is the Greater Accra region, which has about 40, in fact, not about, it is 40,175, making 18.9% of the register. The next is the Ashanti region, which has 36,626, making 17.29% of the register. Then we go to the Eastern region. The Eastern region has 21,843, 10.3% of the people. Then to the Central region, 18,718 people will be voting in the Central region, making 8.84%. The Western region has 14,132, 6.6%. Volta region, 12,589, 5.9%. Northern region, 12,206, 5.76%. Upper East region, 8,588, about 4%. Then you have Bono region, 7,871, which is 3.7%. Bono East will have 7,840, another 3.7%. Upper West, 6,876, 3%, 3.25. Western, 6,429, another 3%. Oti region has 5,495, 2%. Ahafo, 4,338, 2%. Savannah region, 4,155, 1%. Northeast, 3,654, 1%. And the diaspora, 824 people, which makes less than 0% of the people who will be partaking in this election. The grand total, we have it, 211,849 people would partake in this particular elections. So you look at the regional breakdown and you ask yourself, in these regions, which one would be able to tell which one who is winning at what particular time, based on how many votes they are getting over there. Let's take the top 5 votes, top 5 regions. Per what I have, the top 5 regions will be the Greater Accra region and the Ashanti region. These two, when you put together, are very huge regions in terms of numbers. Anybody who is able to win more than 70 or 80% of these two regions is likely
to be declared a winner.
Is likely to be the winner of the elections. But you see, it is not just these two regions. Let's look at it. You have Eastern region, which comes up as third. And don't forget, Ashanti is the stronghold of the MPP, followed by the Eastern region. So Eastern comes third in terms of numbers. Central comes fourth in terms of numbers. Western comes fifth in terms of numbers. Where do these people come from, the 5 candidates? Let's get an idea based on the numbers where these 5 candidates come from. Sami, We have two candidates coming from the Ashanti region, Dr. Educhum and Kwabena Japan.
Yeah.
You have one person coming from the Eastern region, Dr. Brian Champon. You have one person coming from the Central region, Kennedy Japan. And you have one person coming from the Northeast region, which is Dr. Baumia. But we decided to do something. Because you have all these regions, look at the number, the size of the Northeast region, very small. We decided to put all the 5 regions of the North together
okay,
to see what will happen in terms of numbers. Let's see what we got. Greater Accra still remains top with 40,175. Ashanti region still remains second with 36,626. But look what happens when you put all the 5 regions of the North together, then you have 35,479. They come third. Eastern region now drops to 4th, 21,843. Central region, 118,718. So these are the numbers the 5 candidates will be playing with. The Ashanti region, the Northern Bloc, the Eastern, the Central. The Greater Accra, no one comes from there.
Yeah.
So then, let's say it's a very open play. If we just have to assume, this is just assuming that all the candidates are strong within their regions. We went on to do further analysis of the presidential election in 2023. And you know, Sami, you know the history of the 2023 elections. You had more than 5 people contesting.
Yeah.
So there was the first election to reduce the numbers from I think there were 7 to 5. And in reducing the numbers to 5, you had one person deciding to resign and leave the party, leaving 4 people. So you had Alan Tremantin going out of the party. At the time, I mean, we had Kennedy Japan and Dr. Dr. Baumia left in the race, with Kwabena Japan also in the race at the time. Now, what happened? We are going to look at the 2 top people in 2023 and what they did in the regions, and see whether if they do the same thing come this election, what will be the outcome. So let's look at the numbers for the presidential elections 2023, looking at the top 2 candidates, Dr. Baumia and Kennedy Japan. And you see, what we must take note of is the fact that even before this particular election, during the conversation of the 2023 elections, Kennedy Japan was not part of the top 2. It was Dr. Baumia and Alan Tremantin. Yeah. By the time the first round of elections had ended, Kennedy Japan had moved to second. Yeah. Alan Tremantin has exited the party. So you had these 2 people having to fight to see who would win that particular election. So let's start from the Ashanti region, which is a very important part of this particular election. Why? It is the second largest in terms of numbers. So how much numbers are you going to pull from that place? During the time, the election numbers in terms of delegates were 192,446. The amendments had not taken place to increase the numbers to what we have now. So we didn't have past executives, past MPs, and others joining these numbers. So these are numbers of delegates and some selected executives. Ashanti region, Dr. Baumia had 22,205, representing 65% of the votes there. Kennedy Japan had 11,330, representing about 33% of the votes in the Ashanti region. So Dr. Baumia, what did he do? He secured the Ashanti region. Western region, Dr. Baumia had 7,465, representing 59%. Kennedy had 4,899, 39%. Usually, people will say the Western region and the Central region would usually vote in the same way. But let's look at what Central did. Central had 6,195 for Dr. Bawumia, which was 36% of the vote. And Kennedy had 10,828, 63% of the vote. And this is Central region, the region of Kennedy Japan. He showed up and won the region by over 60%. You go to the Eastern region, which is one of the most important ones. The Eastern region had the Dr. Bawumia having 13,385, 65% of the votes. Then Kennedy Japan had 11,390. That's 33% of the votes. That's Eastern region. Let's forget all the other regions and see the Greater Accra region. The Greater Accra region, NDC, Dr. Bawumia, 19,002 votes. Kennedy Japan, 17,282. You see how close this is. And as we speak now, Greater Accra is the largest region with the largest number. So if it continues to go this particular way, where the two candidates, top candidates, I'm saying, who are now contesting again, are able to divide the Greater Accra region, it means that the Ashanti region is going to be very important for the two. 2 years ago, the Ashanti region, Dr. Bawumia had it with quite a wide margin. Can he repeat same? He had the next biggest region, which is the Eastern region. But let's look at the region of Dr. Bawumia, which is the Northeast region. He had 99%, which is 3,444, as against Kennedy Japan's 23, less than a 1%. Less than 1% of the vote. 99%. But you see, the issue is that this 99% may not, the actual numbers may not be that huge. They may not be that large. So then you will need the other northern regions to see how well Dr. Bawumia will perform within the northern region. So you go to the Upper West. Dr. Bawumia had 4,878, as against Kennedy Japan's 1,084. Quite a huge difference. Savannah, 2,603 voted for Bawumia, 1,028. More than about half of the people went for Kennedy Japan. You go to the northern region itself, 9,238, as against Kennedy Japan's 1,999. So, like we did the first time, when you put all the 5 northern regions, Kennedy performs not too well within the 5 northern regions, which is a problem. Let's do some breakdowns of this. So I've mentioned Greater Accra. So Kennedy and Dr. Bawumia are neck to neck in the Greater Accra region. And for a first-timer like Kennedy, who has never appeared on the ballot or has never been campaigned for on the presidential level, this is quite a good performance. Why will I describe Kennedy Japan as a first-timer? Dr. Bawumia has been part and parcel of the MPP's ticket
since 2008.
Since 2008. So he's well known. Kennedy Japan has been an MP. He's never tried his hands on the presidency. Ashanti region, as I said, Dr. Bawumia won it and won it very well. But for a first-timer like Kennedy, who is able to garner about 12,000 votes from that place, that's a very good performance. Northern region, there's nothing there for Kennedy. Northeast, there's nothing there for Kennedy. Central, his region, he shows up. Western, he doesn't show up. Eastern, he doesn't show up. Kennedy Japan doesn't show up. Dr. Bawumia wins it. But this time the dynamics are changing because in the Eastern region, there's a candidate and a very strong candidate from the Eastern region. In the Central region, Kennedy is there. In the Ashanti region, there are 2 candidates, even though one of them contested in the last election and did not perform at all. There's a new entrant, which is Dr. Educhum. Is he going to pull the votes from the Ashanti region? How would that turn out? We'll wait for Saturday to see what happens from there. But when you look at the analysis for the 2023 elections, these are some of the key takeaways. And we decided to also divide the country into 3 parts: the coastal, the middle belt, and the northern belt, and see how both of them, how they performed within these regions. For the southern belt, Dr. Bawumia won it handsomely. He won totally. You can't, this one, you cannot do anything about it. 87,000 as against 35,000. Quite a huge margin. Middle belt, 77-49. Quite close. So the middle belt would include the Eastern, the Ashanti, the Bono regions, the Ahafo regions. You realize that when you put all together, Kennedy Japan did quite well within those regions, in the middle belt. In the northern belt, which is quite interesting, Dr. Bawumia had 30,000 as against Kennedy Japan's 3,000. Another huge margin. Can Dr. Bawumia keep this record and even add to it?
Now that there's even an expansion of the
Now that there's an expansion, can he keep it and add to it? Or is there going to be an upset where Kennedy and other candidates are going to draw from these votes he won in 2023? Saturday will tell, Sami.
But before you take us back to history. We'll go for a quick break, and then when we come back, you take us back to 2014, 2010, and the likes, and then we'll paint a picture of how the delegate system has expanded over the years. So at least we'll know that the MPP started from here, is moving here, and then it's moving toward that side. You're still watching The Situation. We're coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. I am Sami Yafela. I had Fred Tete Jabonas taking us through the analysis, the numbers in the previous MPP presidential primaries. The last one, which was 2023, the battle between Kennedy Japan and Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, which is also showing up in this primaries, which is expected to take place on the side. When we come back from the break, Fred will take us back to the history as far as the primaries is concerned, and also speak to a member of the National Elections Committee. How prepared are they? Have they sorted out all the matters, the grievances, the misgivings? Have they been sorted out? We'll come back after the break.
Watching DSTV means getting the TV you love, but staying connected means getting something extra. Stunning. Extra matches, extra dramas, the best local and the world's biggest. Extra laughter, music, movies, and extra vim.
I love it.
Just stay connected or reconnect and get upgraded to the next higher package at no extra cost. Charlie, we got you. Keep watching. Get more with DSTV.
We are gearing up for the trip of a lifetime. Heritage Caravan 2026. From 1st to 8th March 2026, 8 days, 14 regions, 1 legendary caravan. We're touring Ghana in the most spectacular way on the Heritage Caravan, exploring the beauty, history, and stories that make our nation unique. Rolling out from Greater Accra through Eastern and OT, up north to the Northern and Upper East, and all the way to the Western region, hitting iconic destinations across Ghana. The Heritage Caravan 2026 will be fun, educative, refreshing, and most of all, remarkable. Stay connected. Follow Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM across all social media platforms for updates, and join the conversation using the hashtag Heritage Caravan 2026. The Heritage Caravan 2026 is powered by Channel 1 TV with Support from City FM, and it's proudly sponsored by Hollard Insurance, Piva Beverages, Omni Basic Bank, Caveman Watches, Gino, and Didi Shito, and it's supported by Nanes Rice. Heritage Caravan 2026, experience Ghana like never before.
Yeah, welcome back. You're still watching The Situation, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. We are analyzing the MPP's presidential primaries, which are expected to take place on Saturday. A lot of us have been waiting for it. A lot of Ghanaians are also waiting for it. Just want to know who emerged victorious after 211,000 delegates of the party cast their ballot on Saturday to know who emerged victorious and who is going to carry the flag for the MPP go into the election of 2028. Fed has been taking us through the analysis and comparing some notes and some figures from the 2023 primaries of the MPP and how things will come up or things will pan out as far as the Saturday's own is concerned. I'll ask friends to hold on. Let's go onto the Zoom and speak to a member of the National Elections Committee of the party and find out if they are done with every preparation. They've crossed every storm and everything as far as this election is concerned, so that when the outcome on Saturday comes, no one will come and raise issues as far as, I was cheated, I was this, I was that. No. I'm not sure the party and its members and its delegates want to have those conversations. Let's go on Zoom and speak to Isaac Boamanyako. He's the member of parliament for the FIA constituency and a member of the National Elections Committee, the body in charge of the Saturday elections for the New Patriotic Party. Isaac, thank you very much for your time. Forgive me, I've made you be on for a while, but forgive me. From where you sit and as a member of the committee, how is preparation? Are you there? Will you say that you are 90%, 95%, or even 100% prepared for Saturday's election?
Thank you very much, Sammy, and a very good afternoon to your cherished viewers. Of course, the committee is fully ready for Saturday's elections. As we indicated earlier to the delegates, the elections is coming on from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. And as we speak now, there's been full deployment of electoral materials across the country. As at yesterday, the various district electoral officers have also picked up their electoral materials. They are under the full control of the police in the various districts that have received those documents or those papers. And so we are waiting for Saturday. The police have already shown their readiness for Saturday. They have started across the various parts of this country what they call an operation to protect the integrity of our elections. And so in terms of security, we understand and we know from the police high command that they are in full readiness. For the Electoral Commission, everything has been received with the express cooperation of the representatives of the aspirants. And so all looks set, and we are very optimistic that come Saturday, we would have a free, fair, and transparent exercise.
We heard of issues with the TESCON, which, the National Youth Organizer of the party was also not happy with it. Have you been able to address this issue?
Yes, I mean, the National Youth Organizer raised issues about an earlier decision of the committee to allow only elected TESCON officers. It was raised at the National Executive Committee. Direction was given to the Electoral Committee and the representatives of the aspirants to look at the outstanding issues. Meetings were held over the last couple of days by the Elections Committee and the representatives of the aspirants we are still tidying up all that needs to be done. But at the end of the day, the electoral data is what we have distributed across the country, and so that should be the album which we are using for the elections as of now.
So on Saturday, run us through the process. For instance, I'm a delegate. I go to the center to vote. After voting, do I have to hang around or go home and come back later? And after voting at 2 p.m., will it be counted there, or it will be sent to the regional office and it will be transmitted to Accra, where the final announcement will be made? Run us through the process.
Okay, Sammy. So right from 7 a.m. when polls open, we expect people to walk in freely to go and cast their ballot. We don't expect people to be buzzed to the place. We don't expect anybody to mention names in alphabetical order for the purposes of going to cast your ballot. The electoral officials, per the guidelines, have been told that it is a walk-in exercise. The areas will be demarcated into 3 sections. We have the outer section, the middle section, and we have the inner circle. The outer section is where the electoral officials will identify you per your ID card. For this exercise, we have given approval for 4 identifications. Either of them will be permissible. One is your voter's ID if you have. The second is your party ID if you have. The third is a national passport if you have. And the last is your Ghana card. Any of these 4 ID cards can be used for the purposes of the elections. If you don't have an ID card, the instruction is that you cannot cast your ballot. We are not allowing party officials to validate or confirm the identity of any person for the purposes of this exercise. And so I will encourage every delegate to go look for their ID card before they come in to vote. Now, when you enter through the inner circle, the outer towards the middle, you are supposed to not go with any foreign material, including telephone. No telephone or mobile phone will be entertained over there. The police have been given strict instruction that when you bring a telephone and you are caught, you will be arrested and be prosecuted, and you will not be allowed to cast your ballot. So that should also take note of that. Now, when we finish at 2 p.m., the electoral officers with the agent, and as well as all those who have come to observe, they will watch the electoral officials count the votes per every delegate, per every aspirant. And so at the end of it all, every polling center or voting center would announce the result of the election at the polling center. When that is done, the police with the electoral officials are supposed to move the information, the ballot boxes, and then the summary reports to the regional collation center. The Electoral Commission office at the regional level will be handling the collation at the regional level. The collation will be done by the electoral officials with representatives of the candidates at the regional level. And then when they are done and it is collated, that result will also be announced at the regional level. When the announcement at the regional level is done by the EC, they are going to transmit the results to the National Collation Center, where we have the electoral commissioner with his assistants as well as representatives of all the aspirants to receive the regional results. They are going to also consolidate all the regional reports or the results. And at the end of the day, the electoral commissioner, Madam Jean Mensah or her assign, will declare the eventual winner of the elections. That is, if we have a successful 50+1 candidate winning the elections. When that formal declaration is done by the electoral commissioner, the party leadership, that is the presidential election, will receive the results of our commission. And then we are going to move to the party headquarters at Asylum Down, where the party executives would also be briefed about the final results as declared by the EC. And then the party would have a formal declaration of the winner at our party's forecourt office at Asylum Down. And then we expect that the candidates or wherever their representatives are will come together and also declare whoever will become the next flag bearer of the MPP leading us into the 2028 general elections.
My final question, in the event of a runoff, what's the plan?
So the National Elections Committee, where I am a member have developed the plan for a runoff if it should come. But we have not tabled those details because we are not in a situation where we can confirm a runoff or otherwise. But I can assure you that the Elections Committee have made itself full ready to conduct a rerun within the shortest possible time. The moment we realize that there will be a runoff, by the time we come out by a day, we will declare the fine details of the processes towards a runoff to the elections.
So on Saturday, we should all be assured that everything is going to be successful. Hello, Isaac. I'm afraid.
Yes, hello, Sammy. I'm here.
I'm saying that so we should all be assured that Saturday you are ready. Everything is going to be successful.
Sammy, we are fully ready. The police is ready. The electoral commission is ready. The delegates are ready. We are only advising anybody that have no business to do with the elections not to come and interfere with the process. We've also advised people not to come with bodyguards and macho men seeking to try the beauty of our elections. Any such attempt will be crushed by the police as directed by the Inspector General of Police. And so from the Elections Committee point of view, we are fully ready. All the deployments have been received at the various district offices of the Electoral Commission. We expect the security and EC to be fair and transparent in the processes as per the guidelines. And any other concern anybody has as per the elections on Saturday, we have told the aspirants to channel their grievances direct to the office of the chairman of the Presidential Elections Committee, Honorable Joseph Osei-Wusu, and we are going to address promptly any comment or response that we receive at the National Elections Committee office.
Ike, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Ike, Isaac Boamanyako is a member of the National Elections Planning Committee of the New Patriotic Party, the body or the committee set up by the National Council of the party to run Saturday's presidential primaries. Fred, he says they are ready.
They are ready.
All is set. Everything is ready. Just go in there, cast your ballot, and wait for the outcome.
You leave and you wait for the outcome.
Of course.
As we wait for the outcome, let's go to the outcome of 2014.
That's all.
In 2014, we'll just go through quickly. In 2014, you had Nana Addo and Alan Tremantin, and this is the difference in terms of percentage. 94% for Nana Addo. You had Alan Tremantin having 4.7%. And
this was 2014.
This is 2014.
Leading up to the 2016
Leading
election.
up to the 2016 election. So there was a contest between Nana Addo and Alan Tremantin. I don't want us to go through the whole process, but at the end of the contest, Nana Addo had 94% of the votes, whilst Alan Tremantin had about 5% of the votes.
What was the size of the delegates, the electoral college at that time?
It was 117,729.
Okay. Okay.
A reduction in the 2017, 2014 elections. And let's take note of this. At this time, we still haven't had the expanded delegate system where you had former executives and all those things.
Was still the old
It was still the
system,
old system. Nana Addo won by over 90% of the votes. Keep it in mind. We'll come back to that. Let's go to 2010. 2010 was the beginning of the extended and expanded delegate system. So in 2010, you realize that you had over 83,000 people or delegates voting, 83,361. And the election once again was Nana Akufo-Addo, Alan Tremantin.
And this primaries was the lead up to the 2012 election.
This was in the lead up to 2012 elections. At the end of that particular election, Nana Addo came with 77% of the votes, close to 78. Alan Tremantin had 20.4% of the votes. Let's go back to 2014.
14.
90.
From 70 to 90. Yeah.
From 20 to 4%
yeah.
for Alan Tremantin. From 77
To 94.
to 94% for Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. Let's go to 2007. This was the old system.
I remember this like yesterday.
Yes.
I was present.
And this was the election where you had the 19 people.
Yeah. 17.
17, sorry.
17.
17 people
Legon, the Great Hall.
contesting this particular
Yeah.
election. So you had Nana Addo, Alan Tremantin, Aliu Muhammad, the sitting vice president at the time, Yao Safo Mafo, you had Damboche, Papa Uso Ankoma, Hakuman, and the others.
Ambassador Bewa, Lawyer Kodia. But I was present.
Sending the elephant to the bush.
I was there.
Was also part of that particular election. This election had just about 2,285 people who had to vote. And this election was taking place in Legon.
Yeah, the Great Hall.
Yes. At the end of the election, Nana Addo had 47% of the votes. Alan Tremantin had 32% of the votes. Do you realize something? Nana Addo did not pass the 50 plus 1.
Yeah, yeah.
But then Alan stepped down to allow Nana Addo to go and become flag bearer. So 47. Let's forget the numbers, because sometimes when you put the numbers in terms of the number of delegates, somebody you say, okay, but this delegate system was extended. Let's use just the percentages. 47-32. Let's go back again. 77-20. 94.4%. What are you seeing? What trend are you seeing there?
None of those numbers, kept going up.
So the winner of every flag bearer election during the Nana Addo time, or in the MPP, keeps increasing
going up,
in terms of percentage.
Yeah.
Let's go to 98. So this one we are going from front to back, or back to front. John Ejekun Kufuor, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, J.H. Mensah, Dr. Kunedu Apreku, the process, Alhaji Malika Hassan Yakubu, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo.
Yeah.
Kufuor had 64% of the votes. Nana Addo had 31% of the votes. 2 years before, there was another election. In 96, the first election which brought John Ejekun Kufuor as flag bearer. Because it was after the 98 election that got John Ejekun Kufuor to be president.
Yeah.
So his first time on the ballot was 96. And this was his second time contesting to represent the party as flag bearer. He had 51% of the votes. Albert Eduboine had 20% of the votes. J.H. Mensah, 13. And it goes down, 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 down. But you realize something again. In 96, Kufuor 51. In 98, what's the percentage? 51%. So there was a jump.
Yeah.
Let's go to 92. Albert Eduboine, 56. Jani Selby, 17. John Ejekun Kufuor, 13. Dr. Safwedu, 7.5. Dr. J. Addison, 3.6. Albert Eduboine contested again. He couldn't surpass his 56.
Yeah.
What happened to him? He lost. So you look at the trends and look at this data. Anytime you contest for the first time, your percentage level is low. The second time, it rises up. Why are we showing all these? From 96 all the way to 2014, you realize that if you win and win the second time, you consolidate the party,
base.
the base within the party. In this election, you have Dr. Bawumia, who won in 2023. Can he increase his percentage? By what margin? If he's not able to increase the percentage, what does it mean for him within the party? These are all up for discussion after Saturday's elections. Because you can easily say that maybe if he wins more than 61%, like he had in 2023, then it means that there are a lot more people within the party who now trust him.
It means Dr. Bawumia must go higher than what he had in the last.
Yes, he has to.
In the last primaries,
He has to. If he doesn't, there'll be some challenges for him. Serious challenges for him.
Well, his people said he's going to win, so let's see.
It's not just about the win. It is about
the margin of win.
The percentage because you see, you need a margin of win to be able to get everybody knowing that this is the man we all support.
Well, Fred, Saturday will tell.
And you see, we are not saying Dr. Bawumia is going to win. We are saying that if he wins, he needs a huge margin. If he doesn't, the person who is winning also will need a huge margin to be able to take control of the party.
Let's see how it goes. Time will tell, as they say. Saturday is just around the corner. It's been another exciting edition of The Situation that came to you live from our studios here in Accra. On Saturday, join us on City FM and Channel 1 Television all day for the MPP presidential primaries. We'll be on radio, online, on TV, and we'll bring you nothing but the best. So stay with us from 7 a.m. till the final result is declared, and the presidential candidate-elect will be officially outdoored by the executives of the New Patriotic Party. So we come your way again. May the good Lord be with us all.